Gonna make this quick because not just because the day will pass at some point, the anniversary. I'm gonna get that in a second. Not just the anniversary will pass sooner than I think, maybe. But there are things going on in the meantime that I might have to try to be considerate about. But yeah, a couple things I may, and also the contest for YouTubers I might have to deal with right away as well. So there's other things going on. I'm not busy, but I just want to make sure I'm getting this through smoothly, but still steadily. So yeah, it is the 3 year. Sorry. It is the 3 year anniversary of my Otter Crosswind / Dr. Anthony Barr Cashman channel on YouTube. And take it how you will. The 163 plus videos I've done in the meantime, ever since then, everything 65 times 3, is actually quite a beauty in itself. It's just like it's been a really amazing journey. I think I just about got to the point where I could stop experimenting for one thing, maybe niche down the sincere way, like niche down like that. Have other plans for maybe the other channel, the Marchscarf channel. I think there was a scheme I was going to get into in a second, but basically, before I get into the history of the channel and all that, maybe even no zero intention for that matter, is that I was basically going to do the niche down on this channel and then do the varied content on the Marchscarf channel, so that I could do dailies or weeklies or whatever, or 2 to 6 per day, whatever streaks on the Marchscarf channel, and then do claymation specifically, if not other, but one or two other things on this channel. So like claymation and vlogging or something like that, or claymation and soft skills or something, etc. And that would be more specific on this channel. And then there would finally be like a niche jump kind of thing, more audience centric kind of thing going on for it. And then I'd be able to know if I could go from there. You go legitimately and make like bare custom thumbnails, like visual design, improve the video editing quality in other areas as well. Not being consistent on purpose, no apparent reason. But even though I find benefit in that in the meantime for other reasons, which is why I'll do that instead of Marchscarf, the varied content. Now, the varied content in Marchscarf won't be shitty. The consistency will still be decent on all Crosswind to an extent, without being forced. So either one of those ends, and that was the idea. But in honor of this anniversary, I think I was going to try to do a stream maybe after things settle down a little bit towards the end of the day, but that should be considered, I guess. But for now, I'll cover a little bit of the history if I can, and then maybe if I have serious attention in terms of what will mean for content creation. So at the beginning of this channel, I did start off by thinking through the things I would do as a content creator, because the whole time since like 2010, 2011, 2017, I've been a content creator the whole time. Like 2017 was VidMe for the most part, and maybe a little bit of Vimeo and VidShoot. But in 2010 to 2011 was YouTube directly from early 10. I keep referencing those two videos. The very first Clay Pop showcase of that many years ago, and the first vlog clip, please. And I look very high. I see them as very high value videos. Maybe not necessarily high quality, but they're very high value. That proves to me, at least in my regard, that I've always been a high value person and a high value creator, even if it's not always high quality or consistent or whatever, or consistent quantity. But not even verticals of videos like these for like 10 minutes or whatever. But yeah, I just this channel started off with a few occultism videos as deep as I always get. It was the montage for the first video, the earlier videos montage, and then the poem, then the occultism videos first, almost a dozen of those occultism videos. I was amongst the occultism community, which I don't really get into anymore, I guess, unfortunately, if even unfortunate. Long story about that, if you know. But and then the nofap and human attention community, which I'm still very much dependent on, if not not dependent on, but like more like having to be in the midst of for my own personal lifestyle reasons and very much ambitious reasons. And recovery is very, very important to me this day. So, and then in between that, the agorism, counter economics, and community, and capitalist community, which I've been in the midst of every once in a while. I keep being on the fence about it, but I don't have to do it, but it's still very fascinating to me. I've been passionate about the last few videos I made about it in the meantime. So, and that and art touches and whatever else, but mostly in cap stuff. So those three: occultism, and cap, and nofap, and then they run like muffle. But the three controversial communities I would meantime that I thought were the most controversial out of my whole channel, but could be different like that. So it was occultism videos since the poem and the montage for at least almost a dozen, and then it went straight into occultism at first, and it went straight into, because I was doing that as a creative outlet for the things I was going through since 2018. The 8 months I was schizophrenic or whatever. But then I did that as a weird introduction to this current channel. But then I went into claymations all of a sudden again, and not so much that I happened before, because the first clay pop interview was literally like 8 or 9 years prior. So it's a nice gesture of that. But throughout that January 2019 to even this current last May 2021, it's been like this thing where because in 2019 when the claymations were being introduced to the channel, I went through all those claymations the entire year. I did like 13 short films in 1 year, and I learned very quickly with experimenting on purpose and unintentionally, I guess, uh, being creative otherwise and trusting creativity, but making sure that I was able to experiment and discover things and explore my creativity if I was able to or willing to, and making the most of that, being grateful and positive in the meantime. For other reasons, as may step out probably at this point, but I was experimenting and discovering things, and every single film and experience I had with that. And the claymation was very good. There wasn't only content I made in the meantime, but I think in 2019, a vast majority of the content was only claymation, which basically looked like a niche down at that point. But then falling into 2020, I went back into claymation a little bit again. I did hiatuses from claymation for a while, even this year, but not always to the point where I would never come back to it ever again or something like that. But sorry, blocked word in the closed caption, I guess. But then so yeah, 2020 was like I did varied content. I did like vlog pieces, tutorials, behind the scenes for claymation, and contribution to that still, but it was other varied content in the meantime. Otherwise, the deep docs were introduced that year. The there was a introduction of the in-cap content that year. I never really got back into nofap content, but I eventually did a little more content, nofap content this year, and then I was able to do a more in-cap video this year or something like that. And that's both of those are on Marchscarf, including the Project Tether Story Promise video from 2017, which was on VidMe the first time, and then that was my first video on VidMe, and the last video on VidMe was the one I had covered in the montage, and then yeah. So yeah, finally I'm gonna cover a little bit about nofap and stream retention. My intention, and maybe the plans for this channel as well. I'm going to really try to cover. This is a weird promise to make every single time once in a while, because I will never mind if this channel becomes a heap heaven, if that's even a phrase, of constantly be on day zero or being like, oh, but I'll do better this time. No, not really. Yeah, they really commit and not say anything about it. No, really. I'm not that kind of person particularly, but I know that it's a lifestyle, not a challenge or lifestyle thing. But like, I still prefer the challenge. The gamifying of it is really beautiful to me. I keep saying that though, but it means that a lot to me. So, you know, with no family attention, I will just consider to make that better for my. And if cliche and generalized as it sounds, I will try and make that work in my favor while I'm still trying to do these other ambitious and steady things in my life. The all-in hunter and the baby stuff farmer kind of ideals I had over there from Angel or Mike McCoy's or whatever. His new videos since his Ramadan thing, they were really nice to look at, and so I was using that for contemplation in the meantime. But the plan was to again like to niche down this channel potentially in the coming months or weeks, and then have it varied content on the Marchscarf, and then that'll continue off from where I left off in these varied videos and double dailies. It'll have double dailies. Marchscarf will have double dailies. It'll have weeklies or whatever else. And this channel will be more focused on quality and niching focus and all that, and quality and better thumbnails at least. And you won't have to worry about that anymore. Every single video has to have a thumbnail, a custom one. But I don't know. But you know, with no fab zero intention, I'm gonna tailor that back into content creation, if even that's as simple as that sounds, because I'm gonna make sure I get ahead and wherever I can make the most of, even as extreme as zero intention, if that would be the case. But you know, finally, I'll just say that in honor of the anniversary, I might do the stream at the end of the day. I think I could try that, or at least end it beginning tomorrow. They're kind of ironic, but maybe at least end of the day potentially. But there are a few things I have going on, content creation wise, and other things. So not busy again. I'm not busy, but just doing them. So I accept you, Tony. Remember that there's nothing more beautiful than desperation, and that there's nothing more devastating than pretending not to care. Last thing is that how I feel about 3 years. I think I feel really good. I may not realize that, but I do feel really good about being a content creator the whole time because I can't imagine my life as a non-creator. That's what makes it hard to leave. I know I may have an end game eventually, like I suggested in other videos, but if I have an end game to leave content creation, it won't be in like straight up 5 years or whatever loss or even gain in content creation. But I'll make sure I tell you guys whenever something like that happens. Whatever. These guys, Dr. Anthony Cashman.